Hello. Happy New Year, everyone. It's the first day of New Year, and it's a very special day here at Classic Guns today. And we got a very special presentation. A Colt Python 357 Magnum, 4-inch blued. And what's very special about this is not just the gun itself, but the fact, and I'm sure you've heard this already, Colt has just decided to start reproducing these guns. They're making them again. They've announced it. It's become official as of today. It's supposed to be at SHOT Show 2020. They'll be producing them this year. It's an exciting time. The suggested retail, I think, is $1,400, and that may seem like a lot, but for what a Python is, it's pretty good. And you know, it's going to be a little less than that probably from when you get down to the actual dealer. But these Pythons, the Colt Python is, in my mind, it's the quintessential Magnum. When you hear the word Magnum when applied to a handgun, this is the picture I think of. Always have. You see it in Hollywood and even the toys we had growing up. I mean, if you had a gun that looked like this, a toy, real, fake, whatever on TV, this is what you thought of, this intimidating, powerful looking, beefed up gun with a vented rib and a full underlug. This is what you thought of, a very powerful weapon, and that's what a Magnum is. Even though the real original Magnum gun was the in-frame Smith & Wesson, which I've shown in a previous video, the Model 28 Highway Patrolman. This is a classic gun. It is definitely, there are those who call this the Rolls-Royce of revolvers. And back in the day, these were one of the most sought-after weapons for a lot of people. People loved it. So let's try it out here. It's an excellent weapon. Oop. I'm shooting Hornady XTP hollow point ammunition, backed up by Hodgdon 110 powder. These are reloads. Here we go. Had a couple of misfires there. How about that, huh? Colt Python 357 Magnum. They're great weapons. I got this used many years ago. Supposedly it's from the year 1980, going by proofhouse.com. And there's some debate about how accurate that is, but this is a great gun. It's just, this has got a lot of wear on it, holster wear, a little bit of pitting on the side of the gun. There was some rust right around here when I first got it. But for a use and abuse shooting gun, some people cringe when they hear that when applied to a Python, but to me, a gun is a gun is a gun. It's not a museum piece. So it's exciting that these things have been re-released. We're looking forward to it all. I'll be glad to see them on the shelves. Maybe if I can afford it, I'll pick another one up myself. But for now, this is an excellent gun. I love it. I've always loved it. It's a fine weapon. And the action, let me say this about the new ones. If you're worried about the quality, I've not handled the original Pythons. Excuse me, I've not handled the new Pythons. I have handled this, and the actions on these are just smooth and crisp, as good as it gets. And if the new Cobras are any indicator, they are top notch. They are the best. They are as good as the originals, maybe even better. I've handled them in the gun store several times, and the new Colt Cobras are excellent. Colt has lived up to its reputation, and it's going against the grain with so many modern revolvers that are real tight and clunky, and you got to really struggle to pull that trigger. And I think that's one reason people kind of steer away from revolvers in modern days, because of that, because so many triggers are so tight now on guns. But Colt has gone against that. They're as good as their originals, and the Python, I predict, will be just as good as this, maybe even better. So we'll find out this year. I appreciate your watching. Feel free to comment.